today. Live stream so far, right now, as it's titled, though it could change. But right now, as it stands, 30 days quit, invest in your future self, the phase 2 rebuild plan. Now, this channel is about not only quitting smoking, but more importantly, staying quit for the long term. And in doing so, you and I are making a meaningful midlife transformation. And that's what this content is focused around. Of course, we're doing the midlife angle, so that's those that are, 40, midlife, somewhere in that area, like I'm speaking to you. Everyone else is still welcome as well, of course, but we know who we're speaking to. And if this is you, I recommend hitting subscribe because we've got a lot more information coming out, a lot more videos, and it's one of the best ways to stay on your journey and join our journey as well. Our channel, we're putting out a lot of short form videos, but the real diamond, the real gem lies in the long form videos that we're putting out that are meant to share my personal experience of quitting smoking after 25 years and hoping that that will also help you or encourage and motivate you to do the same. All right, so if that's you, hit subscribe. And for today's video, the focus, it's about, we're talking about a massive milestone here. That 30 days since the last time you had a cigarette. That's huge. And congratulations, by the way. Like, this isn't just about quitting smoking anymore. It's about shifting gears into phase 2. The rebuild. We'll cover what to focus on next, especially how to turn that money saved into the fuel for your future self, your future best self. That's what this video is about today. So welcome. Phase 2, or part 2. I guess like the power of phase 2. I guess before we get into the phase 2 part, I should probably mention a little bit about phase 1. And phase 1, like that's that first 30 days. Although it will be different for each and every one of us because we all go through this journey a little bit differently. However, in this first 30 days, like that is what I would consider phase 1. And that phase 1 is those like the physical withdrawals from the nicotine, the learning how to not smoke, the learning how to deal with those cravings. And like everything's kind of new and you're turned upside down and everything like kind of starts over. That's phase 1, okay? That's where you really gotta pay attention, focus on what's going on, and you're living day by day. Or maybe you're living like moment by moment or craving by craving. Okay, so that is phase 1, but there comes a point where you enter into phase 2 and things are a little bit messy, okay, because you're kind of learning and you're going through all these changes because smoking has been something that you've relied on for, well, it's been every filler and your life has virtually been built around it, right? So getting out of that and kind of going into phase 2, that's where we are right now in this video. So anyone that is live, by the way, welcome. Go ahead, put any comments down in the chat. We're gonna get to those at the end, in the second half. I expect this maybe 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And we should be in that part. But I do have some value that I want to put through. And actually some of this value came from last week's live. But I kind of like stuck my foot in my mouth. I couldn't get the words out right. So we're kind of doing a little bit of that again. And I'm adding to it, of course. So I just explained what phase 1 is, right? That's that first 30 days and kind of learning how to live without cigarettes. Now into phase 2. Okay, so the power of phase 2. First, like I just mentioned, like a huge congratulations. You know, you've hit that first 30 days. Awesome. And if you're here and you haven't hit that first 30 days, this is what you're looking forward to in your future. So it's incredible. Like you've conquered the toughest physical withdrawals, like we mentioned in phase one. And now we're moving into this new realm, like establishing your new non-smoking identity and investing in your future self. So emphasizing the shift from active quitting to actively rebuilding your health, energy, and your environment. Okay, so the power of phase two, that right there, this is what's gonna stick with you like long time. This is the new you, okay? And that's what we're building right now. Okay, well, thank you. We're starting to get some chats and comments coming in. Perfect, thank you, welcome. So, the smoking money strategy, okay? This is what's gonna fuel your quit. This is what's gonna fuel your brand new crack at life, like that meaningful midlife transformation. I'm doing fine, thank you, and I hope you're doing well as well. So this financial foundation is something that we can build right now through what we were spending our money on earlier, right? Cigarettes daily. So let's talk about that money. Like you've already like saved a significant amount just by not buying cigarettes, and that's assuming that you're hit that 30-day mark. And you like each number is going to be different, but for myself, that's $20 a day Canadian, so 14-15 bucks American daily I was spending on cigarettes. So I had that 30 days worth of money sitting there, and I'll explain where it was sitting and try and be a little bit clearer than I was on that last live for those of you that may be here or watching on replay. Yeah, so try and be a little bit clearer. So that like my biggest recommendation though, for phase two, this phase two that's going to be super important to helping you stay quit a long time, is to set up a separate account within your bank, whether it be like a separate checking account, okay, or a separate savings account probably. For me, it was no cost to set up. I just set it up, and what I did was take my reward money, what turns into reward money daily, and I was physically taking that from my checking and putting it into that savings account. It just makes sense. You can actually see it grow, and you can keep it separate from all the rest of your life basically, and this is like your reward money. So that's definitely my biggest recommendation, and it was huge for me. It was like a little mental kind of win, I guess, something on the side that I could see growing. And so yeah, that's exactly what funds your quit, and it also will help you with supplying yourself with the aids that you may choose to use to quit smoking, right? So initially, that money that would have otherwise been spent on cigarettes, so like this is what's going to fund your quit. For me, like, or you, if you use a 10-week patch program to quit, well, that money is coming out of that special fund that you kind of set up in your own account, and that money's coming from there. You shouldn't pull it from anywhere else, just bring it from that account for like the 10 weeks. I did that. Of course, like you're gonna have to like buy the first set of patches to get going, because you haven't quit smoking yet. You still are spending that money every day. But I think you see where I'm going here. So yeah, so I did that, and like those costs, they come right out of this fund. So the reward, once you've completed that initial aid phase, like I said, whether it be patches or gum or a program maybe that you enrolled in to quit smoking, or a course or something along that lines. So so here's the exciting part. So after you've pulled the money out to pay for those certain things, the rest is all yours. Okay, it's like that's exciting, because that's where really things start to change, and you have some options to do something. It turns into like a float, basically, like an activity float. Or, well, we'll see. We'll get into that a little bit more. Just stay with me here. So all that money, that smoking money, like I said, is yours. So you should have a nice lump sum of cash sitting there right now, even if some of the smoking aids had been taken out already. And if you haven't done this and you think that this is a pretty good idea, then maybe it's time now to sit down with a calculator and figure out how much money you would have spent on smoking since you quit, like 30, maybe you're 40 days in or whatever it happens to be, and minus what you spent on the aids, to like nicotine aids to quit smoking, or the programs, etc. And then take that lump sum and put it in that separate account. And now we're on the same page, and you can daily put in what you would have spent otherwise on cigarette into that account. And then, we're all kind of on the same page. I definitely recommend that you do that. Yeah, I'll get a little bit more into that as we go. So the catch up option, right? That is like the catch up, just to be like where we are right now. That's something myself that I set up. This was on a previous quit, and it worked really well for me. It was a nice motivating factor, and I tried doing it, putting like the auto deposit, like just from auto transfer from my checking into there. But I found that it was better for me to do it manually, because I was manually going to the store to go buy cigarettes anyways. So replacing that and setting up a new ritual was important. So I transferred that money daily and watched it grow. Right. So I'd recommend doing that for the first 3 months anyways, before putting it on maybe auto transfer. That's what I did. And after 90 days, I went auto transfer, and I'm going to keep that account for 1 year. And I can decide at that point if it's a good idea to keep going with this idea, or maybe I want to do something different. But for the first year, that's what I'm doing. And you can feel free to join me as well. So now taking that money after those aids, smoking aids, things like that have been taken out, and now all that money is yours. So the 20% reinvestment. So now, like, this lump sum is like the perfect opportunity to invest in your future self. Like, as I mentioned in the last video, this means better health, more energy, and a cleaner environment. So dedicating 20% of that money saved is a crucial reinvestment into your future self. So what to invest in when I keep on saying in my future self? Well, that's where Andrea and I can show you exactly the wellness tools that I'm using to fuel my own quit journey. And that's physically like rebuilding my energy, my health, and a more intentional environment and surroundings. So these are the tools that truly make a difference. So we can help you make this happen without friction. There's no steep learning curve. We take that right out of the equation. And of course, it's like hassle-free for you. It's easy, and we'll show you how. Plus, I promise I won't spam you. I don't have time to spam anyone. I really don't. So it'll be just you connecting with us. And you can do so with the first link in the description, actually, if you're interested. Or you can go to our channel homepage, our profile, and go to the About section, and you'll find out how to connect with us one-on-one through the Jotform link. It's easy, quick, and you're on the road to connecting with us, so we can help you exactly with that 20% on where to reinvest it, so you get the most bang for your buck. And it's the best way that I found to stay quit and replace that smoking ritual with some of these products. So I guess it kind of leads to the next question, and that is like the other 80%. What happens with that and the long-term growth of that other 80% of the money that you would otherwise be smoking? So it really comes down to like, this is the pot for your freedom. right? This is the pot that feeds your future self. And like the other 80% is yours to plan around. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should or should not do with that other 80% of the smoking money that you've saved. That's completely up to you. I'm only really interested in pushing that first 20% back into yourself, because it makes the most sense. Like, you've already like quit the most dangerous, hardest thing, one of the hardest things anyways to quit, and that's cigarettes that were just like taking your health away. So this is the logical next step, is to take some of that money that you were otherwise killing yourself with and reinvest it into your future self. Like, so that's what I'm all about, and that's the quit and stay quit part of this whole rebuild plan. But that other 80%, like I was saying, like it's going to add up big time, and especially over time, even over a month. It's like, for me, $400. Well, probably $450 almost, right? So compound that over a year, 2, 5, 10. Like, we're talking some pretty good change, right? Yes. So so maybe you want to like use some of that for travel. I know I have, and on our channel, I had that a few videos, the shorts I put out about going to Arizona, just escaping some of the Manitoba winters here. Maybe you got a new savings goal or a savings account that you want to put for your future self, your retirement, perhaps. Maybe extra family activities, preferably things that are active and outdoors and need your attention, and are really great moments to build the foundations of your family that you'll reminisce about long time ago in the future, or whatever else you desire. I mean, like I said, like I'm not going to tell you what to do with this other 80%, but it's coming, assuming that you keep not, or you keep on track, and you keep not smoking cigarettes and putting that money away. So continuing that habit of putting that money in every day, daily, for up to that 90 days, gives you enough time to like really get your habit set in place, and you know that every time you don't smoke that day, you get to put that chunk of money away. Is just another little way to get your mind working towards that new habit build. Yeah, so I'm doing this for up to the full year. I'm doing it for the full year. Like, I've been doing it now for near 8 months, like a week away from 8 months. So like now I'm doing it on auto transfer, just because it's easier and I don't forget. But those first 90 days, I was definitely happy doing it manually. So continuing that habit is pretty darn important, and it helps you in the long run. So the right decision, that 20% invested back into your future self, is the most valuable step that you're going to be able to look back on in the future and think, yep, that right there was a very smart move, and you can do that move today. Yeah, so just knowing that you made that move today, yeah, is like, your future self is gonna love this. Because I'll tell you what, if you don't do this, you don't set aside the money that you would have otherwise be spending, it's gonna disappear, and it's just gonna disappear into the cracks, and it's gonna be spent on things that may or may not, most likely not, help your future self or build something for you. It'll just seep into the cracks of life, and she'll be gone. So this is your opportunity to do something. It's never really too late to start, but starting now versus starting tomorrow is probably a better idea moving forward. So if you are like ready to discover any of those wellness products that I was mentioning earlier, because I will be putting out future videos about the products themselves, But as far as this live stream goes, we're gonna kind of hone it in. But if you want and you're interested in the tools that we're using, there is a jot form on in the description of this video or on our profile homepage, our about section. You'll find a jot form, fill it out, and that's the way that you're gonna connect with Andrea and I, and we can help you from there. Yeah, like every step of the way. It's really nice because we have experience now with this wellness store that we found, and we can really make this like hone her down for you, because there's over 400 products in this store and you don't need all of them, that's for sure. But that means that there's enough there that we can try everything, or there's the products there that they'll fit your lifestyle and are best for you, as far as like rebuilding your health, energy, and cleaning up your environment. So that kind of goes over exactly what I wanted to talk about today. I'm happy that there's this many people that stuck around. Thank you. I hope that you found some value in that. And quitting smoking is the best thing that you're gonna do for yourself, and it'll give you the most meaningful midlife transformation, because you have to change absolutely everything about your daily to make it work. And that's why this is like a huge, perfect moment in life at midlife to make this transformation, and otherwise be just the best you that you can be. I mean, we stand a chance right now by quitting, having our bodies heal themselves, lungs specifically, within a reasonable time frame. And throughout that whole time, like, we're going to be getting healthier and feeling better and getting more energy naturally, just by not putting that kind of chemicals and toxins into our body on purpose. So now, I don't know, we can move into the question and answer period. We'll see if there's anyone on here that would like to mention maybe a story of theirs for that 30-day marker, and they're moving forward into the unknown. And it's like the hard part, I guess, or like the really like hands-on must be thinking about not smoking is now over, or you're tailing off of that, and you don't really want a cigarette, but you also don't want to fall back to square one. Yeah, if there's any stories that you have, go ahead and fill some out, or maybe you have a question or two for me. I'd be happy to answer any of them. Okay, I have a question or two then. Oh yeah, so setting up that 20% fund. Like I said, this is something that I did in my previous quit. And it was something that worked really well for me, actually, just by putting that money that I would have otherwise been smoking and putting that in its own account. It was something that I could watch build. You can watch build as well. And that has a certain special power to it all in itself, just to show us that, there is something growing from us not smoking, which turns out to be a reward. And when you really look at it, you're like, is it a reward? It's like, if you think about how much money you spent on, you can't think about that, how much money that you spent on smoking in the past. You can't think about that. It'll just get you upset. I know it does me, because all of this time, like, giving all this money to big tobacco and taxes and things like that. Yeah, it's like, oh, it just makes no sense. Like, what was I doing, right? What was I doing? But I don't really think like that. I try not to. But now, moving forward, and for the next year, for the full year, I'll be putting that $20 every day into the account and letting it grow. Yeah, that's a huge win right there. Every day, I can just open up my bank. I can look at it. I'd be like, yep, I'm doing it. Still doing it every day. Still doing it. So that's been helpful. So yeah, so if anyone has any questions, go ahead. Also, that like button's right there. You might as well just hit that too. Thanks. So what was I saying? The questions. If anyone has a question, go ahead. Yeah, I'll do my best to answer any of them. Yeah, there's just in the comments. There's not a lot of them this live stream so far. Yeah, but they're just like, "Hey, how are you doing?" kind of comments. So if there's anything else that you guys want to ask me, go ahead. As far as this wellness store that we found, I'll just talk about that just a little bit. Okay, so we found all the products that we needed to make a meaningful change in our home and our home environment. That includes our health and our energy. So the best part is that there's over 400 products to choose from. So over time, we can pick and choose what works best for myself, my wife, my family in general. Right, so there is that jot form in the description if you want to go ahead and check that out. If you're interested in what we're using, we'll be happy to share with you and how you can get started as well. So that, I guess we could talk a little bit about that moving from the phase 1 to the phase 2. I think there needs to be a lot more information out there about that. Because phase 1, that's all the programs that are out there for quitting smoking. Phase 1, it's to get you over that hump to maybe you've had this habit for I don't know how many years, 20, 25 years, maybe more, maybe less, somewhere in there, but long enough to definitely have this habit built into your life. And that's what all these medical channels, the doctors, the quit people. There's so many different ways to quit too. But everyone's like kind of focused around that. If that was like the fire, everyone's kind of warming their hands around that and trying to get, basically preying on people to enter into their program or whatever it may be to quit smoking. Yeah, because it's part of their business and that's how they generate income. So, of course, the people that are quitting, especially in those like first week or two, like that's a pretty sensitive area to be in, and you'd be willing to pay darn near anything to get out of that, right? That feeling. So I get it. It's that's the most popular part about quitting smoking, but you don't really hear much about it after that, right? Yeah, so oh, okay. So can you shout out my buddy Hugh? Hey Hugh, how's it going? 30 days clean. 30 days clean, is that 30 days clean of cigarettes or is that of booze or drugs or whatever it may be? I'm not sure. If it's 30 days of cigarettes, well, congratulations, because that's exactly what this channel is all about. And that's what we're focused on. But well done, Hugh. 30 days quit of anything that you don't want anymore is a huge milestone. Absolutely. So I lost track of what I was talking about. It was probably something. I guess I was talking about moving from phase 1 to phase 2, past that 30 days, getting past that milestone like we were just talking about. Yeah, I think that's the part that people don't, there isn't enough information out there about this specific part, that really sensitive 60 to 90 day mark. That window right there is where things become, well, you're normalizing your quit for one. So you're not smoking. You're saving money if you're doing what I've talked about this whole live stream by putting money away that you would have otherwise smoked. So you're building that. You're building new habits. You're establishing new habits as well. So that's also important, and that all takes time to happen. And there has to be like a transition from smoking to not, and this is the transition period, that after that 30-day mark ish, 3 weeks maybe from 3 weeks onwards, maybe. I say 30 days because it's easier and it's easier to put in a title. But like I said earlier in this stream too, like it's going to be different for each and every one of us because we've all smoked differently. We all smoke different amounts. So So yeah, we're each got different environments and all these things and pressures and all that kind of stuff. So it's that there's just not enough talk about that transition period. And I could make videos from now until forever about that because there's so much to talk about. It's such a deep topic. And like I know for me, like the first period after that, like 30 days, like I there were still lots of times that I wanted to smoke. Absolutely. It's just I was setting up so many things in the background that if I did smoke, well, it was like taking everything and just crumpling it and throwing it in the garbage. And that that in itself has probably been one of the most helpful things for myself was that whole replacing the nicotine, like as in replacing things to do, habits to build that took away from smoking, took that smoking time, the time that I would have been smoking, and planted it into something for my future self. Okay. And that's where these wellness products come in because you can't do all these extra family activities, etc., if you don't have energy. Because if you don't have energy, well, you're not going to get up off the couch to go and do any of these things anyways, and what will happen is that you'll just go right back to smoking. Because your willpower will fade, and that'll be it. You'll be right back into it. So that energy to get up off the couch, you're gonna get some of that just from stopping, like from quitting smoking. You're gonna get that energy, absolutely. Um, but it could be better. It could be boosted, and that's what Andrea and I are really passionate about. Okay, so we've been live here 32 minutes. Would I say that we'd be somewhere around that 30-minute mark? 35 minutes. We could go longer if anyone else has any questions. I'm fine. I could totally sit here for a little bit and we could discuss the whole phase 2 of quitting smoking. If this is you and you were sitting there quietly, that's fine too. Uh, I, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that you're listening to some of this, and hopefully some of this makes sense for you, and you can use some of this to help your own quit smoking journey. I mean, that's the whole point of this is to A, stay on our track, and B, make good decisions now for our future self. So, talking about our future self, I think one of the good decisions I should make right now, we should end this live stream. We're going to end this live stream in right after this little wrap up. So, basically, if I can summarize this whole live stream, it would be to say congratulations on that 30 days quit, first and foremost, because like it takes a lot to get to this point, and I know that there's a lot of decisions that were made in the moment that led up to here. So congratulations on that part. A lot of hard work's been put in. Now, what happens now is staying quit. It's a complete new game. It's one that you've been warming up to through phase 1 and entering into phase 2. And this channel right here is for you. And I'm going to be building videos and playlists out as time goes on for primarily the after the quit, the after the first 30 days and onwards. And because there's not enough focus on this part here to ensure that you stay quit for the long term. And it's almost like maybe that's the way it's designed, where they focus on the quitting that first 30 days, etc. And maybe they hope that you start again so you can buy their program again. I don't know. I hope not. I hope it's not like that. And I know this channel isn't, because it's focused on the after the quit. Like, you've quit smoking, and now what? Okay, you guys. I am going to shut this down. But thank everyone that did join me here today. I've had a great time. I hope you've had a great time as well. And hey, our next live stream is going to be next week. I don't know, like this is our third one here now. So I'm thinking maybe we could do another one, maybe on a Saturday. Your thoughts down in the comments in the chat here would be great. Like if you're watching this on replay, your comment, I'll definitely get to it, and I'll get back to it as soon as I can. But as far as those that are on the chat right now, live, yeah. So if this kind of a live stream helps in any way, or maybe you have some ideas of what you'd like to cover for topics, go ahead, put any of those in the comments now as well, because I found that doing this live stream has been really great when brainstorming ideas for our long form content that we'll be putting out. Again, right? We just kind of slowed down a little bit on that on our lives. We've been doing, or long form, but we've been doing like daily shorts, and they're kind of fun little things to do as well. But you don't really get that same value out of them because they're just quick, 30 to 40 second like blips of, they're like the highlights basically of the long forms. So if you have anything that you would like to mention for ideas for next week, go ahead, put them down, or even right now. Yeah, like I still got a little bit of time if you guys would like to chat. All right. I know we'll try and do it. I think next week it'll be either Saturday or Sunday. I think we'll pin down our time, whether it's like Sunday at 1 o'clock, or whatever time it is locally for you. But on Sunday seems to be probably the best day for me. Maybe Saturday, I guess, depends. It'll be one of those 2 days. But I'll do my best. If you haven't hit subscribe, go ahead and do that. Because I will try and get these scheduled once we start nailing down times, and then you can get a notification before we do go live. All right. So once again, my name is Troy. This is Second Win Midlife Edition, and I just wanted to welcome you and thank you for joining this live stream. We'll see you in the